giving away free tickets for the movie?
No.
Not yet? Are you for real?
No. Alright guys, so today we're going to talk about movie ratings. Specifically what they are and how they're decided. Here is what's going to be today's primary vocab. Those are the words that are going to be in the review. If you have any other tricky vocabulary, anything else that you want me to discuss, just put it in the comments and I can put it in the next video. Okay, now it's time for the secondary vocab. There's a lot more secondary vocab, but it won't be in the review. And finally, this is the podcast that I listen to get all of this really cool information. So if you want to know more about the MPAA and this bizarre rating system, definitely check it out. It can be intimidating to use native material, but never be afraid to listen to or watch native content. By the way, don't forget, if you enjoy any of my videos, subscribe and comment. YouTube likes it when you do that, and it really helps me. Okay, so as you can see, today we are on location, so we can talk about movie ratings. There's also TV ratings, but today I really want to focus on movie ratings because that's what I listen to. Your country probably has something similar to this. Something that tells you what age group a specific movie is appropriate for. Because parents don't want anything too violent, too profane, or to have too much nudity for their children. They're unsuspecting little whippersnappers. Of course, as you get older than 17, you stop paying attention to these because it doesn't affect you anymore. Because growing up here, you could be prevented from seeing the newest blockbuster film if it had a PG-13 or an R rating. And I'll explain these ratings in just one sec. With the end goal of helping parents to decide what films were appropriate for their children, the Motion Picture Association of America established this film rating system. So let's take a look at these ratings that they established. So the first rating, and the most accessible to everyone, stands for general audiences. To stand for something, to represent, signify, or indicate something. Also, to be an abbreviation or logo for something. And that stands for general audience. All ages are allowed to go to these movies. There's nothing that should offend any parent. If parents have a problem with G-rated movies, they're probably Amish or something like that and just don't want you to enjoy the modern conveniences of contemporary society.
That's just perfect for an Amish like me. You know I shun fancy things like electricity.
G-rated movies are your classic animated Disney movies. No violence, no swearing, to swear, to curse, to use offensive language, especially as an expression of anger. Noun, a swear word, or a curse word. No violence, no swearing, no nudity. Interestingly though, a lot of those classic Bugs Bunny cartoons are now PG because of that animated violence. Okay, the next rating. The next rating is PG, and this stands for Parental Guidance Suggested. That's because some of the materials might not be suitable for little children, or that's what the association says. Here we really have the introduction of violence, although it's animated, very cartoonish. Like I said, those classic cartoons are now PG instead of being simply G. Now I don't think most parents tend to do something, regularly or frequently behave in a particular way, or regularly do something. Now I don't think most parents tend to care about the difference between G and PG. It's minuscule, it's very tiny. And most G and PG movies tend to fall under the category of kids movies. You would have to be a real stickler to care about the differences because the amount of violence, boobs, and curse words are minimal. Right, now we're moving on up.
Well, we're moving on up.
PG-13. PG-13 means 13 or older, or parents are strongly cautioned. Ooh. Now we have a little bit more violence, a little bit of nudity, and profanities or swearing. This is where you start to see some parents really caring about that rating. In American society, I think one of the things parents are most concerned about is protecting their children from sexual themes, especially nudity in movies. We're pretty conservative that way. If you're a filmmaker, you're more likely to want your film to be rated PG-13 than R. Some of the interesting rules now, if you want your movie to be PG-13 instead of R, are that you can only show some of the breast, kissing scenes cannot be very intense, and sex scenes have to follow an excruciatingly detailed rubric in order to remain PG-13 and not R. For swearing, you can say a couple F-bombs. An F-bomb, a polite way to say a four-letter word that starts with F and ends with uck. We use an F-bomb to refer to this swear word politely in everyday conversation. I'll explain this more in the vocabulary review. In PG-13 rated films, you can say a couple F-bombs, but they can't be close together. For example, you need to space them out. You should have, 20 minutes, 25 minutes between each F-bomb. It's pretty ridiculous at this point.
Crazy man, you sound insane. Do you realize that? You should be medicated.
For violence, well, you can have a lot of it. You can have, pretty much as you want. This didn't always used to be the case though. Superheroes revolutionized the rating system in relationship to violence. Because superhero movies are such big blockbusters, the association needs to approve them for PG-13 so all of the teenagers can watch them in the summer. And of course, so the industry can make money. So to summarize PG-13, a little bit of nudity and a lot more violence. Now we're at the R rating, and that stands for restricted. We're really starting to sound very dark and mysterious here, but the themes and the images shown in these movies I really don't think are that severe. Here the description for this rating says that parents should learn about the movies ahead of time and must watch it with their children. In the US, when you're younger, these are the movies that you can't go and see by yourself because you need parental supervision. With R-rated movies, there's much more swearing and a much more vulgar selection of swear words to choose from. In regards to violence, it's not that there's a lot more of it, but it's the representation of that violence. What?